My friends, this is Dr. B, the best doctor in medicine. 30 plus years in medicine at high level. 30 plus years of clinical high level experience in medicine. Today, Dr. B wants to tell you why is it that the healthcare professional and the healthcare industry, like for instance all these big pharma and the Food and Drug Administration and blah blah blah, constantly push you to eat more than you need. They constantly, endlessly, doctors, nurses, medical professionals, the healthcare industry, the Food and Drug Administration, the Department of Health and Human Services in America, the food industry, all of them together with the big pharma, right? They push you to constantly eat more than you need. I'm not here talking about kids. I'm not here talking about adolescents, all these people who are growing, who are developing. I'm not talking here about adults who are young, in their 20s, early 30s, right? Who are constantly active, exercising, growing their muscles because they hit the gym, they are athletes and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about teenagers, young adult, average age adult, advanced age adults who are being constantly pushed by the food industry, the big pharma, their doctor, nurses, human services, Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, and of course all the healthcare professionals to eat more than you need. Remember that there's a big collusion going on between the healthcare industry and the food industry. The food industry pushes you to eat all this nasty processed food, which is 99% of what you buy when you go to the store. They make you sick starting in your teenage years. Remember that 30% of teenagers in America have prediabetes. 50% of teenagers in America are overweight. 30% of teenagers in America are obese, right? Remember that half of the adult population in America suffers from being overweight. 30% to 40%, pretty soon 50% of the adult population is obese. But they keep telling you that you need 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, that you need to eat fish constantly on a regular basis, right? They tell you that you need this, you need that, you need this, you need that. They push you constantly to eat despite you being an average adult or an advanced aged adult or an older adult, or despite you being a teenager or a young adult and being overweight and not exercising all the time. It is because they make billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. One of them, one side makes you sick, the other side, the big pharma and the doctors and everybody, makes billions of money selling you those medication. So you have the big food industry making you sick, giving you diabetes, high cholesterol, making you obese and blah, blah, blah. And on the other side, the big pharma makes a medication against your fatty liver, makes this Ozempic so that you lose the weight and blah, blah, blah. It is crazy how these two industries collude together in cahoot so that they can make billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars to your detriment. Let's look at the example of the Food and Drug Administration, right? The FDA. Despite knowing very, very well that every fish that people buy at the store, every freaking seafood, like shrimp, for instance, that people buy at the store is full of arsenic, cadmium, lead, and mercury. These are 4 nasty heavy metals that accumulates over many years or few years to a few decades in your brain and give you dementia. They give you cancer, autoimmune diseases. By the time you reach 60, 65, 70, 75 and you're ready to retire, they diagnose you with cancer, heart failure, kidney failure, dementia, right? Because you've been eating like the FDA has been telling you that you need to eat regularly fish, right? They don't tell you that the fish that you buy, that the shrimp that you buy, most of it comes from Southeast Asian countries. They are full of mercury, arsenic, cadmium, lead, mercury. Arsenic, cadmium, lead, mercury. These are 4 nasty heavy metals, right? All this beautiful tilapia that you just ate in your sandwich, right? This tilapia that you ate in your burger, right? All this burger chain, they come out with this fish burger. What kind of fish do you think is inside that burger? Well, it is the tilapia that they bring from Vietnam or Thailand. Have you ever been to any Southeast Asian country? I've been to all of them, from India, Bangladesh to Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, Vietnam, Laos, China. It is nasty, nasty environment. The factories, do you think they are checked like here in the US? They just dump their nasty, nasty carcinogen, heavy metals, nasty waste products from all these different factories into the runoffs, into the rivers that goes into the lake, and then it goes to the ocean. And then, of course, all the shrimp that you buy, they come from Vietnam. These farm shrimp, all these shrimp farms that you have in Vietnam that are nasty. This water that is full of carcinogens, pesticides, insecticides, massive industrial farms raising this tilapia, raising this freaking shrimp that you eat and you give to your family members to eat. They are full of arsenic, cadmium, lead, mercury. By the time you reach 60 or 65, you're going to have cancer, dementia, heart failure, kidney failure, blah, blah, blah. And then people wonder, how come that the incidence, the number of new cases of dementia, heart failure, kidney is increasing and cancer increasing regularly in America and all the Western countries, right? Because of this nasty stuff. Despite knowing how nasty the seafood is in America, from fish to shrimp to anything else, the FDA encourages people to eat and telling them, oh, but you need to have healthy omega-3 fatty acids, right? I posted a video about the lie that this is and how I get my healthy omega-3 fatty acids. I haven't eaten one fish, one shrimp in more than 10 years, probably more than 12 or 13 years, and I am super healthy. My brain is super sharp, right? All my health parameters are those of a baby. It is a lie, right? This is one of the examples of how the FDA in America pushes people to eat constantly on a regular basis fish. And then they put on their website, make sure that you don't eat more than 2 to 3 servings per week. Well, if fish was so healthy, the way the FDA says, why would the FDA itself put on their website, make sure that you don't have more than 2 or 3 servings per week? It is because it is full of arsenic, cadmium, lead, and mercury. But the fish industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? The food industry, the chicken, the meat, full of carcinogen that they give people, is multi-billion-dollar industry. So they cannot tell people, you know what, you need to stop eating all this processed meat, all this meat that you buy at the store, chicken meat, fish meat, cow milk, goat milk, meat, all this red meat, T-bone steak, everything that you buy at the restaurant, your sandwich that you buy at the store, and you come for your barbecue and blah. It's all full of carcinogens. vitamins. It's all full of pesticides, insecticides, dyes, nitrates, nitrites. They don't tell you that because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? They all work together, they grease each other's foot, they contribute to their political campaign, they make you sick. By eating all this nasty stuff, they never tell you to not eat that. They encourage you to eat and they exaggerate. What is the worst is how they exaggerate the amount of food you need to eat, the amount of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, fibers, blah, blah, blah. They exaggerate how much food you need to eat. Unless you are a teenager or a child and you are growing in height and in size, you don't need to eat that much. You don't need that many vitamins per day, that many antioxidants. You don't need so much freaking vitamins, minerals, fibers, potassium, magnesium, fibers, protein, and blah. You don't need that much of it, right? And especially you don't need so many calories. 99% of American people are overeating. They are overindulging on food, right? I wish people would overindulge on sex, right? It is funny how you look at a couple, right? Most couples after a few years of marriage, they are lucky if they have sex only one time per week, right? I mean, come on. Most couples by far, after just a few short years of marriage, even those who are not married, those who are in a committed relationship, they are lucky if after a few years being together, they have sex even one time per week. But my God, they're going to eat 10 times per day, right? So if people would overindulge on sex, there would be our population in America would be 10 times healthier than it is right now, because people are not engaging enough in sexual activity, right? Look at all these sexless marriages, sexless partnerships, right? Where people are just married and they have children to raise, they have mortgage to pay, they have to save for their retirement, right? 50% of marriages fall apart. Those who do not fall apart and don't separate, half of them are not happy. They are together because they have a house, they have children to raise, and blah, blah, and later they divorce anyways, right? So I wish people would overindulge on sex than on food. But that's to the benefit of doctors, pharmacists, the healthcare industry, the big pharma. All of them together rake billions of dollars out of your sickness, right? It's like the dentist, right? They want people to keep eating chocolate, not brush their teeth and everything, so that they can do their freaking teeth constantly and make a lot of money, right? Dentists wouldn't have no money, wouldn't make no money if people had healthy teeth constantly, right? So it's the same. So they are pushing you. If you are an average adult and you're not done with your growth and you're not exercising constantly, like when you were 20 or 30 years old, you're not hitting the gym 2 or 4 hours a day and then swimming, biking, blah, blah, blah. If you have a regular average life, like the regular average adult, and you're busy working, paying your bills, and then you come home and you watch TV and raise your family, and then you walk your dog for half an hour to 1 hour after dinner, and you think that's going to make you lose weight. If you are that kind of adult, then you are the number one prime target for the food industry. They want you to keep eating 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. Oh my God. Now, nobody's going to tell you that you don't need actually 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. You're no longer a kid. You're no longer a growing teenager. You're no longer a 20-year-old adult. When I was in my 20s, 30s, even early 40s, I used to eat constantly fruits, vegetables, orange juice, fruit juice, apple juice, this, that. I used to eat constantly, even junk food. But I was so super active every day. My testosterone was super high. I would hit the gym 3 hours, 4 hours, go to the swimming pool, have sex with my girlfriend 10 times in a night, right? Those days are long gone, so now I zip it. Not only I decrease the amount of food that I eat, but in addition to that, I decrease the amount of calories, right? You don't need so much calories. You don't need so many vitamins, so many minerals, so many antioxidants. Just have a healthy diet that is balanced. I'm on the keto diet, right? Absolutely healthy. It satisfies my needs. I have 0% body fat. All my health parameters are those of a baby. I sleep 9 hours a night, right? I have a low stress environment at work, zero stress actually, zero stress at home. My cortisol, the stress hormone, peaks only in the morning like it should, then it's at zero. I'm aging gracefully. My God, I am super healthy. And I stay away from overindulging on food. I wish I could overindulge on sex, but right now I have no girlfriend. So anyways, but I'm not overindulging on this nasty stuff called food so that I get all these nasty diseases, heart attack, heart failure, kidney failure, high cholesterol, high triglyceride, hypertension, diabetes, prediabetes, and then I go look for a medication to help me. No. The best medication is to zip it. Again, after a certain age, right? Do whatever you want when you're a kid, when you're a teenager, when you're growing, when you are a young adult, right? And you are always active. I see teenagers who are obese, right? Obviously, those, they need to zip it too, right? But I'm talking about the regular average adult, most of whom 50% are overweight and almost 50% in a few years will be obese, right? You need to zip it. Otherwise, you're going to die. You're going to have a heart attack, heart failure. It's pretty sad. And I see that constantly. Because people don't see what I see at the hospital, at the clinic where I work, right? They don't see that. So they learn the lesson only once they have a heart attack, they have to go to the emergency room. Or they have a heart attack and they die, or the wife dies, right? The widow maker or the widower maker, right? Or they have a stroke and half of their body is paralyzed, right? It's crazy what people do to themselves. So don't fall for this lie from the FDA, from your doctor, from your nurse, from the healthcare department, right? From the health and human services, right? Don't fall for the lie that you constantly need to eat this amount of fruits and vegetables and this amount of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and this and protein and this and that and this and that and all this excess, right? And of course, don't fall for the lies and advertisements that are everywhere of this freaking food industry. 99% of what you buy outside is processed to super processed food. It's going to kill you slowly but surely. I have posted videos about my keto diet, about what I eat, which is always a little bit, all right? And watch my videos. I swear to God, you can age gracefully. You can age really good. Stay away from heart attack, stroke, cancer, cardiovascular diseases, heart failure, kidney failure, liver disease, fat, being overweight, blah, visceral fat, Alzheimer's, dementia, neurodegenerative diseases, cancers. Everything is related. You need to implement a few measures, health measures. Watch my video. If you put them together, I swear to God, we will be together for the next 50 years, and God willing, we will die healthy at the age of 100 in our sleep, in our bed. I swear to God. Dr. B graduated more than 30 years ago from medical school. I took the Hippocratic oath to never ever lie to you, to never ever tell you my opinion. Everything I tell you is the scientific evidence, the scientific proof. And I will never, ever put my interest above yours. Your interest will always be above mine. Regardless of your gender, ethnicity, race, politic, Democrat, Republican, independent, black or white, Asian, Latino, whatever is your color of your skin, whether you're male, female, anything in between, I love you and I give you a big hug the same way I love medicine. And that's why I went to medical school, for the love of people and for the love of medicine. Put your comments, question, any catso you want to ask down there. I promise I will get back to you as soon as I can in my super busy life, but I will get back to you. I hope to talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.